Hi, welcome to 180 Online. Before we begin, be sure to like and subscribe to this page. Also, follow along with 180's Instagram page to keep up with information regarding different events and things happening. Something cool is happening this weekend. Coming up, King Jesus Ministries is hosting their online youth conference, completely free. You can click on the link in the description box below for more information. So let's do a little leader spotlight information fact sharing moment. Starting with me, Patty. I started earlier this year before this Rona. Oh, the days where we were outside. I pretend that I sound pretty singing, but I don't. I started earlier this year volunteering at 180, and I'm going to share 3 fun facts about me. Fact number 1. I love penguins. I love all things penguin. I love the fact that they swim. I love the fact that they waddle. They're cute. They're tiny. Okay, I don't like the big ones. I just like the tiny ones. I like emperor ones, but I like to pretend that they're tiny as well. I think they're cute. Everything except for the cold, me and penguins are like this. I don't do cold. Fun fact number 2. I love the Golden Girls. This is technically the set, but this is a bootleg version of TikTok. This is Snapchat's version of doing this thingy. So the execution's not that great, but I love the Golden Girls. My last fact is I am a Miami native. I've been raised in Miami since I was a wee little lamb. And yeah, I'm not a transplant, but I am because I wasn't born here. That's all I got. We're in the middle of our Game Changer Summer Series, and we just kicked off this month's series, Life is a Story. So before Mr. Adam Beers brings our message for the week, I want to challenge you guys to share a story with each other. But the catch is you want to share a story in 1 sentence. Try to see how much detail you can provide in 1 sentence to tell a full story. Once you share our stories, we're going to sit down and listen to the message from Mr. Adam Beers. Take it away, Adam.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Rodlin Jellin. I am a ministry leader at 180, and I also am a youth facilitator at an organization called Be Strong International, where we teach students about healthy relationships and financial literacy. And I'm also a student ministry leader at Christ Fellowship. So I'm born and raised in Miami, Florida. I've lived here most of my life, all of my life to be exact, and my parents are from Haiti, and I just love being here, just seeing different cultures, nationalities, and try different types of food too. So my favorite hobbies are running, working out. I love to work out, love keeping my body healthy. I love to read, staying informed, learning about new things. And what I love to do the most is make music, put in sounds together, create something sonically. So I always believed that God was there. My dad and my mom, talked to me about God. And, growing up, we went to church, my mom, my brother, and myself. My dad necessarily didn't go, but he believed in God. And, I would just, go there, and really didn't learn much. I just came, there was food. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm with the food. So I got baptized at 11, and I didn't understand what it was. I'm like, okay, cool. I wore this white robe, and then a pastor baptized me. He says I am a new person. I didn't feel like a new person. And years later, I go to high school, and getting my education. And the first 2 years was really difficult because I skipped school, I skipped classes, and I just didn't really care for my education at that time, and I was hanging around with the wrong people. And during my 10th grade year, when I was 16, it was really a challenge for me, to the point where I didn't want to live anymore. At that same time, there is this kid that also went to my church who tells me about this Bible club. I want you to come to this Bible club. I told him nicely, no, I don't want to. And so he left me alone, and then he came another time, and I'm like, I don't want to, but thank you. Third time he invited me, it was a little much later, and I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot, I'll go. So I sit down, and the same guy who invited me, he did a sermon on the gospel. So I heard the gospel, and I've heard it, when I was hearing it from him, it was in such a way I've never heard it before. It's just like, whoa, this is what you mean, okay? I know about the John 3:16, but the way you explained it was really awesome. We all accepted Jesus that day. I'll never forget it. And I was really, really happy about that. Years later after that, I struggled with lust. That was a big struggle for me. It took my focus off God, because now it's getting to a point where you're putting so much value and confidence in yourself and with that other person. So it led me to just please my flesh, gratify my desires. When it came to breakups and things of that nature, my first breakup actually, I didn't go to church for like a few months. We did things that were not honorable to God, and then at the same time, things just didn't go well. So I ended up eating bad, eating junk food so much to numb the pain. I would watch movies days on end. It wasn't just a breakup, but there was other things that came along with it. But there was a point where I gotten over that, and that's when working out became a hobby because of that. I was watching an interview of Eminem, the rapper, where he struggled with drugs, and that's why there was a certain period in his life where he didn't put out a lot of music because he struggled with drugs. And then I heard the story of how he started, he gained a lot of weight, and then he started working out, he started to eat better. What I did was, okay, I had to come up with I had to use exercise as a therapy for me, and I really worked out so much. And then during that time, I found Christ Fellowship, even though I've been there before, visited, and then I started to become a member of that church. And it was great because I was a little intimidated by small groups, so it took me a while to become getting socially, just to be in a large group of people and stuff like that. So, but things worked out, gave me a healthy perspective, and I really thank God for that. My name is Rod, and I am a warrior.
Hello everyone joining in to watch 180 Student Ministries. Thank you for taking the time out to watch and listen in tonight. Just want to say a quick thank you to Rod for sharing with us your story and your testimony, and helping us to know you better, and giving us something that we can take away for our lives. We've been going through the Game Changer season, and we've started a series called Life is a Story. We're in week 3 of that series, and tonight we're going to be talking about big moments that happen in life. All of us in the course of our lives have big moments that define our lives, that direct our lives, whether they're good or bad. And even in movies, in books, in films, in history itself, there's big moments that happen that reshape, redefine, and just redirect our lives, and that we look back on and be like, man, that was a really good experience, or man, that was a really bad experience. Some of these big moments are losing loved ones, or getting married, your favorite team winning the championship, meeting someone new who's impacted your life, or just spending long periods of time with somebody. There's big moments that happen in life, and the sad reality is that some of them are bad. Some of them just hurt us. Some of them weaken us and wound us as we go through life. And knowing who God is and knowing the Bible and what God's original plan was, we know that that's not what life is supposed to be. Life is supposed to be bigger than that. Life is supposed to be more than that. Life is supposed to be enjoyable. Death is not supposed to occur. You often hear people say death is a part of life. I don't like saying that. I don't like saying death is a part of life, because death is not life. Death is the end of life. Death is the opposite of what life is supposed to be. So God in his love and his mercy, he sent his son Jesus to give us life. And in John chapter 10, verse 10, Jesus says this about himself. He says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." Jesus came so that we would have life and have it abundantly. And the type of life that Jesus is saying, he's not just saying that he came so that our hearts could be beating, that we have breath in our lungs, that we could eat food. That's part of what he's saying, but that's not really what he's getting at. What he's getting at is that he has come to give us a full life. He's come to give us what is truly life, which is freedom from sin, freedom from suffering, freedom from pain, freedom from death. That's why Jesus came. And so that we can have joy, we can have peace, we can have a relationship with God. That's where life is found. And the abundant life that he spoke there is not talking about riches. It's not talking about wealth. It's not talking about having so many material things or having so many experiences that you get to do in life. But what he is talking about is the abundant life of being filled with joy, the presence of God, being restored to God, and having eternal life. And that's why Jesus came. That's why he died for you and me, is because we're going to die. And so he came so that we could have eternal life. By believing in him, we get to have eternal life. That is the abundant life. And so whatever your story is, whether you've lost loved ones, lost a parent, moved from a different city to a new city, or even, good stuff, like you maybe the best player on your sports team, maybe you've excelled at school and you've got awards for that, maybe you've recently graduated. So many big things happen in life, and over all of it, God is in control. But what he wants us to come to is understanding and knowing and believing that he has more for us. And so if this year for you has been hard, like it has been for so many people, God has more, and it's only found in his son Jesus. And so your story, my story, it's going to come to a conclusion one day. We're going to have to face death ourselves. We're going to get to that place. And if your story is similar to mine, you've had to experience others in your life dying. For me, I lost my dad a couple years ago, and that was the first time I really was face to face with death and had to deal with the reality of death. And it's not an easy thing to experience, to go through, to look at, or to watch someone else go through. And so going through this life, we're going to have loss. And there's going to be big moments like that shape and define us. But there's hope. There's more to it than that. And so Jesus, when he's saying that he came, that he would have life, that he would give us life and have it abundantly, it's not that he tried and failed. He came and did just that. What we have in Jesus is assurance. It's an anchor. It's hope. It's something that cannot be taken away, something that cannot be moved, something that we can put our trust in because it is trustworthy. It's not like, man, I'm just going to try this out, see if it works, and if it doesn't, then, I'll move on. That's not what this is. This is, guaranteed, if you come to me, this will happen. And so, yeah, God is bigger than our circumstances. He's bigger than everything we go through. And it's hard to see that sometimes. Things and situations in our lives can be just so overwhelming, whether it's, changing schools or losing a job, or just, anything. But God is bigger. He's greater than all of that. And so that's what I want you guys to take away today is that whatever your story is, you still have chapters that are coming later down the road. So don't give up. Don't despair. God is still in control. He still has a plan. And he's still writing your story. And what we get to do is go to him and have him redirect our story. And so that happened to me in my life. And I want you guys to experience that as well. Man, guys, thank you for this opportunity. I don't know where you're at in your life. I don't know the words that I'm saying. I don't know how it's going to affect you or speak to you. But I want you guys to know that Jesus came to give you life and to redirect your story because you have a story and he cares about you and he wants you to have the best life possible, and that's only with him. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to listen again next week. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Adam, for bringing this week's message. I want to remind you guys to like and subscribe to the page and stay tuned for the discussion questions for this talk. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week.